Houston Rockets were finally able to trade Ryan Anderson. They traded him to the Phoenix Suns along with Anthony Melton too, and they got in return Brandon Knight and Marquese Chris. Apologize if I'm not saying your name right. When you look at the trade, this is like when LeBron James won his first title. And he said it's about damn time. The Rockets have been trying to get from underneath this contract for a long time. As you all remember, when he left, Ryan Anderson left New Orleans Pelicans, he signed 4 years, $80 million. He hasn't lived up to his contract. Last 2 seasons been averaging like about 9 points a game. So that's basically not up to par as to what the Rockets need. Now, the Rockets are getting, to me, the best package out of the deal. They definitely won this trade. They get Marquese Chris, who is like, he's a lengthy player. He can play defense. So, you know, they lost some defense with Trevor Ariza. They're able to get some back and some youth. So that's going to be key because, you know, like players like Clint Capella and others make a big difference. Youth makes a big difference, especially on the defensive end. Then you add more youth with Brandon Knight, and you add scoring. Other thing that I also have to factor in is last season in the Western Conference Finals, Chris Paul got injured. There was really no clear-cut backup for him. Now you add Brandon Knight to the mix. You have a great backup, a guy who was a career 15-point average per game scorer, 15 points per game scorer, and he can light you up at any given moment. Brandon Knight, when he was on the Bucks, and sometimes with his Suns, before he tore his ACL, he was getting buckets. We gotta admit this. He's a guy that can score the basketball. He's a great player. He's very underrated. He's a very solid player. So the Rockets get a backup. They could actually play a 3-guard system with Brandon Knight, Chris Paul, and James Harden. You know, they could, you know, create a new depth backcourt or whatever the case is. So they got a lot of nice options there. They get rid of Ryan Anderson, who really wasn't productive on that team. And when you think about it, you know, it really showed itself in the Western Conference Finals when he had to guard the likes of Stephen Curry. Now, Stephen Curry was making everybody look silly Game 7, but it just really came to pass as to what his value was with the team. He barely even played in the Houston Rockets series. So, you know, it's basically as good riddance to him, I guess, for the Houston Rockets. In terms of the Suns, I don't foresee him staying there. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to package him with another player to get like a really good point guard to go along with Devin Booker to really create a good backcourt. A lot of teams are shying away from trying to get big men or stretch fours now. I see that they're really like going after guards. I guess because this is a guard-oriented game, but a lot of GMs are kind of misremembering, in the words of the Yankees pitcher, I misremembered. They're misremembering that with a solid big man to initiate the post, you know, you open up the floor for shooters and stuff like that. So I don't want people to think like post up is dead, because like if you look at the Golden State Warriors, they use the post up a lot. Even though they don't score out of it, a lot of their actions come out of it. So a lot of GMs is like a buyer beware on these guards, because some of these guards are going to be bust. You know, you're looking at all these highlight tapes. These guys got all these moves. But, you know, when you look at all their moves, whatever the case is, how it translates to the game, it doesn't really mean much. Gilbert Arenas on his podcast, the No Chill podcast, he was talking about how all these kids are brought up in AAU. They have a bunch of moves in their bag, in their trip bag. They could start dribbling here, and they'll end up on the other side of the court still dribbling and then score the basketball. He was like, it's just too much. You know, you need one move, two move, go. It's just like one, go. And then if you look at all the greats, even if you look at Stephen Curry, he gives you like a variety of moves, but it's not that complex. Between the legs, behind the back, that's it. Or between the legs, cross. Like boom, boom, go. He's not boom, 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 boom. Like, you can't play basketball like that. So it's just a buyer beware on these upcoming guards, you know. You guys got to really shape up. You guys got to shape up and tighten up your move package. Like once you got them beat, just go or shoot. That's it. But when you look at this trade, Houston definitely wanted. They had a D+ grade for the offseason. I think that this could raise it to about a C+, because we don't know what Brandon Knight's gonna be with the ACL injury. I mean, thank God his game wasn't predicated on like a ton of, well, his jump shot did have lift on it, but it wasn't predicated on a ton of athleticism. So he could still have his jumper. He still got his handle. That's really good. And then they got that Marquese, Chris, where he can actually be that plug-and-play defender kind of guy, sort of like a PJ Tucker. And maybe, hopefully, he could learn to knock down the three. Last season, I believe he averaged 7 points a game, so that's not half bad. So we'll see how this plays out. But, yeah, that's it for Ryan Anderson. You know what's really sad is Ryan Anderson in New Orleans, he was a very great player. I'm not even going to front on you guys. Like, he was a really, really great player. So it's crazy how people fall from grace. Like, you look at some of these players like Chandler Parsons, some guys that used to be really good and promising, is just like they're either out of the league or they're just getting traded around like a little chess piece. So Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.